Now, we've got basketball coach and Chinito Heartthrob, Charles Tiu, with his new show on BNC Beyond the Game. Now, he's giving us a little rundown of how it came to be and what's in store for fans on game day. Beautiful day, Charles. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me. I don't know about the heartthrob part.
Ayun nga eh. You had me at Chinito Heartthrob. Alam mo pa, dapat meron ka rin ganung title. Morning Heartthrob.
Morning Heartthrob? I have no
Heartthrob
idea
ka
if that's
rin.
true.
I'm kind of old for that. I think.
I don't know.
You don't look it though.
Okay.
Yes.
There's Zaddy energy
The
siguro.
Zaddy, parang hindi pa nga masyado.
Hindi
You look
pa.
so young. And may baby face, siya,
That's
quality.
fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. This is the most awkward he feels, by the way. I've worked with him for some time. But first of all, welcome to the BNC family, Charles. I did your first interview when you arrived here. And how has it been so far? The reaction that you're here and, of course, the excitement that your show is about to come out.
Well, I am excited. My friends are excited. A lot of people actually messaged me, which surprised me. I guess it's really a big deal to be part of this family, this network. So it's an honor for me to be part. Obviously, I hope the show does well. It's a new concept, new idea. So let's see how it goes.
So the new show is called Beyond the Game, and that's going to be starting tomorrow already,
Yes.
right? 8 p.m. With a really big name for your very first guest. Let's first talk about what the show is all about and anong angle niya. Like, how is it different from our other sports shows?
Well, I figured because there's so many interviews already with a lot of sports or prominent personalities, we wanted to look at a different angle. Let's say tomorrow my guest is Hansi. Obviously, he's known as a businessman, but I wanted to kind of get to know him a bit more outside that business scene, the business world. So we talked a lot about sports, his passion for NU, why they're really big on supporting the school and things like that. And then for a lot of my guests, I mean, that's the plan really. Obviously they're strong in their fields, but I feel that there's always something you can get from sports or any other of their passions that help them in life or that make life interesting for them. So that's really how I guess it came about.
Yeah, and when you thought about all of these plans for Beyond the Game, because it's called Beyond the Game because we're talking about the things that also happened behind the scenes, technically speaking, and of course why people do support the sports that they do. How long have you had this in mind that you want to do something a bit different from what you've done in the past?
Well, to be honest, I was thinking first, I kind of wanted to do something about lifestyle because I have a lot of hobbies like eating, traveling,
Of course.
drinking wine, and all those sort of stuff. Obviously, sports is still the number one, but I figured I still wanted to stay within sports because it's something I'm still a bit familiar with, and I just want to be able to share some nice stories or different stories from people that may or may not have been shared. And if people are willing to share them with me, then I figured it might be a good start.
The answer to this next question is pretty obvious. Of course, BNC. But let me just ask, what made you choose BNC as the network for your show?
I heard Paolo was on this network. So I'm like, I gotta work with this guy again.
Ikaw pala, Paolo,
Si Paolo ang sikreto. But I think obviously Bilyonaryo is like one of the most prominent news websites, channels, social media. Bilyonaryo all over the place. So when the opportunity came up, I'm like, wow. We read this a lot. My friends are always talking about who's this person in their articles. I mean, it's kind of fun, but I like what they're doing. I mean, they're trying to recruit a lot of great talent, and people are jumping ship to this network. And I just think, wow, it's a great to be part of this. And I know they have so many big plans, even in sports. And I'm like, maybe it's something that we could explore and see how it is.
Yeah, and again, we're really excited to have you here. We're very happy that you signed. And I was just really lucky that tumagal ako sa opisina. Then turned out Charles Tiu walked into the building. I'm like, oh, look, it's a friend. But of course, we gotta talk about your personal life also. When I mean personal life, your other sporting ventures. Let's start off first with CSB because you are very Atenean, but then here you are coaching a very Lasallian team. And CSB Blazers have been getting better and better with you at the helm. Of course, a lot of support behind you as well. Just that experience so far, this journey as a head coach coaching college. How was that? So you got to change the way that you looked at sports recently.
Well, it's been exciting, to be honest. First of all, I never expected this to happen. I'm Atenean. I'm sure a lot of Lasallians or Lasalites don't like that there's an Atenean coaching their team still, right? But
Manalo ka lang.
that's part. I know, manalo lang. No? That's part of the job. But right now we're in a bit of a, I'd say, struggle to start the season. It's actually probably the worst start I've had in the 4 years that I've been with this team. But I'm enjoying the journey. Coaching college kids, seeing them go through the adversity that they have to. I mean, it's a different experience, and you're trying to help navigate them in their lives also. I mean, sometimes it's not just about basketball. I mean, there are a lot of, it's one thing to not play well, to lose games, or to win games, but a lot of these people go through different things in their lives, and sometimes you feel responsible to help them in a way. Like, you're also concerned for what goes on in their lives. Even if you're with your family, they're still at the back of your mind. So I feel that's something that's a bit different versus when you're working with professional teams. It's just about business most of the time, at least, right? When you're done, you're out, it's over. But these guys, and a lot of them are breadwinners of their family at such a young age. So it's something that puts life into perspective, how hard it is. I mean, sometimes you take these things for granted, but some families are asking 20-year-old, 22-year-old kids to support 6, 7 of them, and it's a big responsibility also. So it's part of what makes it fun, right? Like, I feel, and that's what keeps me going, the fact that I feel at least I'm still helping guys in one way or another. And when that time comes that I feel I'm not able to give back, then maybe it would be time to move on, I guess.
Fangirl question will be coming from me.
Oh, go.
Now, let's talk about yung brotherly legacy growing up in the Chu family with Chris Chu. What was the dynamic, and how has this, shaped your own journey?
It's interesting, I actually owe a lot to Chris, I mean, the basketball world. I mean, there was a time that I didn't even want basketball anymore. My parents were the ones who had to force me.
Really?
Yeah, and this whole coaching thing came about because I probably was my brother's #1 fan. I mean, from the Ateneo days, he was playing in the UAAP. I was just in Team B, but I'd hang around every practice game of his. I watched more games of his than anybody, 100%, throughout his life. And I got into coaching because I was watching him with the national team, and the Serbian coach, Coach Toraman, was like, hey, why don't you be my assistant? I asked MVP. He said it's okay. I'm like, wow. I basically just graduated out of college, 0 experience. I'm like, sure. And just because we were friends. So that's why I say, I traveled with the team at times just to watch, just to support. And then I became a coach through that. So I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. But growing up was always cool. I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't you feel bad that you're always compared, because it's never going to end, right? That's what people talk about. I mean, half the time people call me Chris. People I've never met. Hey, Chris. I'm like, yeah, hi. I pretend to be Chris, right?
Okay.
But to me, as I've said, I always want to support. Like, his success is our family's success, and to me, that's really what matters. So I'm always going to be happy for him, and I think there'll never be any jealousy or envy when it comes to us and our relationship.
That's good. I was going to ask, do you ever feel like, you were always in the shadow of your brother's profile?
I think so, in a way, but I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, you look at what he's accomplished in life, and to me,
Yeah.
it's a great thing. I mean, we're like, this little kid from our household became the national team captain. He became a champion, a mythical 5. I'm like, and a PBA player. I'm like, I mean, that's not anything we dreamed of. So I mean, I don't mind being in his shadow, because he's done pretty well.
Yeah, it's so funny, Anne, because the first time I ever saw Charles in real life was when he actually claimed the award of Chris in the UAAP for a Mythical 5, because I think he had national team duties or he was out, and you picked it up, and people were confused, at least who did not hear the announcement, because you were in the picture.
Mas cute daw yung
Oo nga eh.
nandun eh.
Parang pumogi raw si Chris Chu ah.
And that was kind of funny. I remember that.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
that time we didn't really have too much social media, although there already was. And
Yeah.
I would get into it a lot with LaSalle fans, because
Of course.
you were
Palaban
very
ka eh.
passionate. Yeah, for sure. And we're very outspoken. And then you get called, and people, the LaSalle fans, because it was LaSalle UE Championship, Ateneo was long gone, and they actually cheered. Of course, they thought it was Chris Tiu, right? Not me, but they were cheering.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So not bad. I remember that day. I think I was
Okay.
there. Oh.
Well, I think most people like Chris anyways, right?
No, we're okay. But I remember his fandom. His fan group, I think, was the Iglesia ni Chris Chu. I think that was one of them.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was.
Iglesia ni Chris Chu.
Yes. I think at one point that was what they were called.
Okay.
But anyway, going back to your show.
Yes.
Grabe yung tangent. I love it though. You mentioned the big names. We already have, of course, Hansi of the SM Group. We're gonna have Rubina Gokongwei already recorded as well. You already done the interview, and of course with Paul Volter, EJ Obiena.
Wow.
When you take a look at your ability to get these people on your show, what does that say about one, your ability to actually relate to them, talk to them? Because I'm sure they're picky with who they talk to. Like they trust you. Why do they trust you in that way? And of course, how did you build this sort of network beyond the court?
I don't know. I'm a nice guy. Maybe. No, I think
So humble.
I think for some of them it helps that our families are friends, and I've known them basically since I've been a kid growing up, and it really helped. But I always feel generally I'd like to think I'm a guy that I can talk to anybody and at least make them feel warm and at least be themselves without having to worry or be so uptight. I'm always a casual person. I'm always straight and honest at least, and at least I feel genuine, maybe too honest at times. But it just kind of worked out, at least a lot of the people I've guessed that I have some sort of a relationship with them, and that's why I try to, always expand your circle, be friends with everybody. But it wasn't easy, to be honest. There are a lot of people I want or I have in mind, but aren't willing to come out and on TV. They're shy, whatever. They don't want. They're private. But it's a challenge. But we'll think of some other guys to bring in.
You want to call them out?
No, not really.
You want to call them?
Malay mo, baka ma-pressure online.
What are the qualities that you're looking for future guests?
Well, I like people, one, who have gone through a lot, who have faced their challenges, found ways to overcome them, and I like people who are movers basically in their fields, and people just with a great story to share. It doesn't have to be super. I mean, you're looking at the top.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not. It's not big. I just want people who can inspire others because of what they're doing in any scale.
Okay.
Do you have a wish list of guests that you can say out loud? Because the show, for some reason, is known for making dreams come true.
That's true.
I don't know
This
if
is
you
a
want.
manifesting show.
I don't know if you want this particular dream to come true, but let's assume.
I don't know. In the business side here, I mean, obviously, I love guys like Ricky Razon, Ramon Ang, MVP. I tried to reach out to MVP. He hasn't answered me yet.
Okay.
But internationally, obviously, I'm still a basketball guy, right? I mean,
Adam
I'd love
Silver.
to talk like, no, Adam Silver's a pass. I like LeBron James.
Okay.
I'm still a big fan.
Oh.
I love to sit down with Greg Popovich, drink wine while we're shooting, talk about basketball, talk about wine. I mean, guys like that.
Yeah, and is there still that Filipino Spurs connection in the coaching staff, or is Coach Chip still there?
Not
I don't think so
sure.
anymore, right?
I don't think I have budget to fly to the
Yeah,
States.
I don't
right
know.
now.
I think you do.
Maybe just,
Yeah, I think
maybe
we
our
doubt
boss,
that.
maybe our bosses are watching.
Yeah, Mayor Bosses, send him to the Spurs, please. All right, but I'm sure this is a big process. I think this is the first time you're actually producing your own show, or you're leading it in this particular
Yep.
way. How has that process been like for you, and what have you enjoyed most about it?
Well, it's interesting and stressful at the same time. Stressful because you're like, oh, we gotta set a date, because it's when you're trying to interview these people, it's their time, right? You're not dictating the time. I mean, it's their time, their convenience. And I'm also busy right now with a lot of other stuff. So those are some of the challenges. But it's also about making the other person look good and feel comfortable sharing with you what you want to share, or what you want them to share, right? Because it's not always easy to get these things out of them. I mean, thankfully, I've had some great interviews with our guests, and they've been very open. But you just want a good product. You want something that's interesting, that's not boring, and sometimes when you do the interview, you're like, oh man, I should have asked this question, this and
Yeah,
that. But
yeah.
that's part of learning also, even for me, right? I mean, trying to be a good host and produce great content, I guess.
Do you have any message for your fans who are watching right now, and the BNC family? We're all looking forward to seeing your show and the very first episode tomorrow night.
I don't know if I have fans, but my mom's probably watching this or some replay or whatever, my family. No, really, to anybody watching, we hope you can support our show. I mean, we promise to have some interesting stories, and we promise you'll be able to learn a lot from the guests that we're interviewing, about them, about their perspective on life, about sports, and a lot of values that it brings out in. And of course, to the BNC family, I mean, I want to thank them for having me here. It's truly an honor, and hopefully I'll last kind of long.
You know, we're happy to have you, Charles.
Yes, congratulations.
I wanted to ask you and to ask him a while ago who are his inspirations in the industry. Pero wag na lang. But of
Bakit wag?
course, ha? Kasi baka ako yung sagot eh. Mahiya pa ako.
Oh, wow.
Alright.
Maybe I should just ask him
No,
our
no,
last
no, no.
question.
No, it's okay. I'll ask him the last question instead. That's a better question.
Yes, our show is called Beautiful Day. So what makes your day beautiful?
Ooh, to be honest, not to sound cheesy, but every day waking up beside my wife and just seeing her, I think that's the best start of the day. Especially when she's sleeping. No, I'm kidding. Only when I'm sleeping. No. It's just that when I'm awake ahead and I look at her, I'm like, oh, this is what life's about, right? I mean, just having a family, also a home, all the little things we take for granted. I mean, I'm a simple guy. Those things are enough for me.
Oh, that's the most romantic answer.
Yes.
I also want my husband to look at me when he wakes up in the morning and tulog pa ako.
Baga ka nagigising, baka nauna ka
Oh,
sa kanya.
nauna ako, kaya nga it doesn't happen. But thank you so
Thank you.
much. Not cheesy at all. That was a great
No,
answer.
yeah, fantastic answer, and he really is actually really simple. Sa
Yes.
totoo lang, yeah. You know, and it's great to have you here once again, Charles. Really appreciate you waking up early and being here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, that is Charles Tiu of BNC's new host of Beyond the Game.